Hi, my name is Jay Fallon. I'm going to talk to you today about jQuery's Masonry plugin, which is a plugin for the popular JavaScript library jQuery. In case you don't know what jQuery is, please stop what you're doing and go directly to jQuery.com and check out the library there. You see it works, it's extremely easy to implement. Has a lot of plugins that will solve a lot of everyday issues that you're having cross-browser. With your CSS or your JavaScript. I've been using jQuery now for about 3 years, a little over 3 years. I prefer it to any of the JavaScript libraries out there, and I'm going to stick with it. It's really great. A lot of people developing on it. And this morning I came across a plugin called Masonry, which basically what it does is it allows you to vertically align all the elements on your page using the float method. And usually what will happen is you'll have a lot of gaps. The browser will align everything horizontally and then vertically, and it'll leave you with a lot of gaps. Well, what Masonry does is it uses the outer width and inner width methods in jQuery library, and it closes those gaps for you. Some of the pages that use it, see it's Max Voltar. As you can see, this is mostly a text-based website, and within the layout you'll notice that these things aren't aligned horizontally, but they're aligned vertically. And it really gives you a clean feeling. You don't have to worry about how much text is in it. You can mix and match different elements, and they all line up. Another website that uses this is Chromeography, which uses the Masonry plugin to align all the photos. So this way, they can just throw up any photo of any size as long as the width is consistent, and get a really impressive layout. Okay, so basically what you're doing, there's no options on the Masonry plugin. You simply configure everything through the CSS, and it's called Masonry once. So we'll call it similar to that. So let's go ahead and get started. By the way, this is David DeSandro's site, which alerted me to the existence of Masonry. So I'm going to go ahead and start with an index file. Call that index.html. We'll go ahead and populate this. Okay, so we'll call this jQuery Masonry test. The body tag in there. I'll just do this. I'm going to do this a mix of both text and images. So it'll just be like a regular blog or a newspaper-style website, something like that. That's aggregating content, where you know the width, but you don't know the height, and you just want everything to fit into place without having to worry about going back and doing any type of editing. So I'll start off. Usually when I'm designing, I use a wrapper div around anything. And put the header in there. Each one. There's that guy. I'll have a content div. And this is where all the content's going to reside. So we'll fill in some Greek text, and we'll have, I'm going to put 5 of these in there. Different sizes. I'll make this guy kind of small, make it medium, this guy longer, and not as long. There we go. Next up, I'm going to insert some images in there. I have some pre-made images. They're all of 230 pixels width, and I'll get to why I'm doing that in a second. I don't want bad spelling in there. British people use the term mauve instead of purple, so, but I'm going to use both. So go ahead and save that. Now, what I use on all of my pages, I use Yahoo's user interface reset and fonts style sheets to reset all the style sheet values on the page. So let's go ahead. Use the minified version as well. So there's the reset, and we'll put the fonts right in here. And another file I always use is my clearfix, which basically adds a hidden period after each element to which I assign the class clearfix class 2. This avoids having the guillotine bug appear in different browsers. So I've been using this for about 4 years now, and hopefully one of these days it'll go away. And we're just going to have a basic CSS file that we're going to use for all our stuff, called application.css. And let's see, I'm also going to add a footer to the page. I keep the footer outside of the wrapper in case you want to do any other design elements. You don't have to go and rebuild the page if you have drastic changes, or you can just configure the footer to look exactly like everything else on the page as well. So that's not any big deal. Do 2009. Masonry tests. All them rights reserved. All right. Please feel free to use anything you want here. So now if we look at this page in the browser, we'll see all the text has been reset to standard size font. The images in the paragraph simply appear there. The footer is indistinct to the rest of the page. So I'm going to go ahead and apply some CSS magic here. I'll start off with a body tag, and we'll configure the font for the entire website. Basically, normal. We'll do 24 pixels Arial. Right. Keep it simple right there. We also have the H1 tag, which we're going to do font size 50 pixels even, and we make her bold. We're also going to add some margin to that. Nope, wrong set. I like to add my margin and my padding up top. We'll do it top and bottom 20 pixels. See if that's taking it, working good. Alright, so now we'll configure what the wrapper looks like. And basically I'll have it be 1,000 pixels and center line on the page. There we go, that's how I like it. I'm going to do the same for the footer. Not really stylizing that much. Except we're going to add some margin there for the footer. Right. Okay, there we go. We'll change the font size. And we'll just 18 pixels, and for the color we'll make it Nice shade of gray. And we'll also align the text in the middle since it's not like there. Nope, center. Okay, you can barely see it, but it's there aligned in the middle. Okay, so this is what your page looked like with hardly anything applied to it. So now we're going to apply some style to the paragraphs inside the content div. And the first thing I'm going to do is float everything to the left. Let's see what that happens there. So since here we go, guillotine effect right there. The footer moves all the way up, and we'll go ahead and solve that pretty easily. This is how I use my clear fix. To the parent div to which the element is being applied to float, I'll just add the clear fix class right there. And as you can see, if I can actually scroll this thing, where'd it go? He's back to where he belongs, right down there in the middle. I'm having all sorts of problems today. Alright, so let's get back to basics here. We'll go ahead and apply the width to... First of all, I'm going to apply some padding to those paragraph tags, 10 pixels all around, top right, bottom and left. And my width, I'm going to fit 4 across, and since we know that the wrapper is 1,000 pixels and we have 20 pixels of padding on each, we'll just make this 230 pixels so that I get 4 of these paragraphs across the page. Check that out. Great. Now here's to see what the problem is. It is first aligning everything horizontally and then is aligning it vertically, so you have all these gaps in between. So what I'm going to do now is add my JavaScript right at the bottom of the page like a good dibber. And the first thing we'll add is our jQuery script 1.3.2.minify.js. Tidy that up real quick. Now we're going to add JavaScript that contains the Masonry plugin. And last but not least, we're going to initialize our jQuery functions. What I'd like to do first is do a little test. And we'll just add, just to make sure that everything's coming up right, I usually do quick configuration with the jQuery. I'll just do a quick alert. Okay, so right at the bottom here, I'll just add a link to my favorite website, and we'll go ahead and check this out. So my jQuery is working. Let's go back, and now if we go back to Mr. DeSandro's page, that's all we want to put in there is the Masonry tag. So I'm going to copy that. Change this guy all around. And we're going to put it on the content div. That's where we're going to apply our Masonry plugin. And see if that worked. there you go. It just closed up all the vertical gaps we had between our paragraphs and made it not the greatest, because I haven't really done much to favor the design here. But in essence, it's closed up all our gaps, aligned it vertically and then horizontally, and made the page a lot more visually appealing. I'd like to continue some of these jQuery plugin screencasts in the future, and maybe we'll even use this test to try out some other CSS stuff on it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.
That was wonderful.
Bravo!
I loved that.
Oh, it was great.
Well, it was pretty good.
Well, it wasn't bad.
Well, there were parts of it that weren't very good, though.
It could have been a lot better.
I didn't really like it.
It was pretty terrible.
It was bad.
It was awful.
It was terrible.
Get him away!
Hey, boo!
Boo!